Once upon a time there was a boy named Jack who loved exploring the mountains near his home. One sunny day, Jack decided to take his dog Max on a new hiking adventure. The two friends set off early in the morning, heading upwards into the tall peaks. As Jack and Max went higher, the air grew cooler and the trees smaller. Eventually they reached a rocky cliff overlooking the valley below. "Wow, we're so high up," said Jack. "I can see our house from here." Max barked excitedly in agreement. After eating a snack, Jack and Max continued their climb up the steep mountainside, using rocks and branches to pull themselves up. The climb grew more difficult as the trail narrowed and the ground became loose gravel. Max struggled to get traction with his paws, sliding backwards on the shifting stones. "Don't worry, Max, I've got you," said Jack, grabbing Max's collar to stabilize the dog. After much effort, the pair made it up the precarious slope and continued into a forest of evergreen trees. The air was noticeably thinner now. Jack took deep breaths as he walked, feeling the altitude in his lungs. As Jack and Max ventured deeper into the pine forest, the trees grew closer together, their branches forming a canopy that plunged the forest into shadow. Strange birds called overhead and mountain streams trickled by, but Jack and Max pushed on, curious to see what lay ahead. Without warning, the forest opened up to a wide-open alpine meadow filled with wild flowers. Towering snowy peaks could be seen in the distance. "Wow, it's so beautiful here," said Jack, turning in a circle to take in the view. Max barked and took off running into the meadow, rolling happily in the flowers. Jack laughed and chased after his dog, the two of them playing together beneath the mountain giants. As the sun moved across the sky, Jack realized it was getting late. "Time to head down, boy," he said. Max came running over, tongue lolling from his mouth. Jack led the way to where he thought the trail back was located, expecting an easy descent. However, after walking for a while, Jack realized with a shock that they were lost. None of the rocky slopes and pine thickets looked familiar. "Uh-oh, Max, I think we went the wrong way," said Jack with concern. Max whined nervously. Jack took a deep breath. "It's okay, boy, we'll figure this out. Let's walk this way." The pair headed downhill, hoping they would recognize a landmark to guide them. But the further they walked, the less Jack knew where they were. The sunny meadow was far behind them now. Shadows stretched over the rocks as the sun began dipping low. A worried Jack picked up a panting Max and hurried downhill faster. "Don't worry, Max, we can still make it," Jack said, trying to sound confident. Finally, as dusk fell, Jack stumbled into an unfamiliar valley. In the distance, lights shone from his neighborhood. Relief washed over him. "See, Max, I told you we'd make it." Max barked excitedly, tail wagging with happiness. After the long day, the two friends walked slowly but safely home as darkness blanketed the mountains. That night, curled up comfortably in bed, Jack thought about the day's adventure. He realized how important it was to be prepared when hiking and to know your limits. Max, sleeping at his feet, already knew that any adventure with his best friend Jack would turn out just fine in the end.